yourself reading a graphic novel and thinking, not really sure what I just read? Well, today I have some tips for you on what you can do to make sure you are fully understanding the graphic novel you are reading. The first tip that I have is to think about zigzagging. Let me show you what I mean. When you are going to read the words in a panel is just one scene. The words in the panel need to be read from left to right. And then I zigzag back down to the left and to the right. Left to right. Left to right. I'm also making sure that I'm reading the panels from left to right. I start with the panel, I go down to the left, all the way to the right, now down to the left, and all the way to the right. Always reading the words from left to right and the panels from left to right. I'm also thinking about the picture within the panel, and I am going to read the picture from left to right. I also want to give you a hint or a tip about the words on the page. An author will use a square that gives you information about the setting or what's going on with the characters or in the scene. The author will also use a speech bubble. That is telling you who is talking. You never want to skip the square, which can give you information about the setting or what's happening. And you never want to skip who is saying what. I would read from left to right. I look at the picture and think left to right. I read the panels. Left, zigzag. I also, as a graphic novel reader, want to pay attention to, it's called emanata. And you can just think of that as the author will use like lines or puffs of emotion around characters to help you understand how they're feeling. So if we look at the lines coming out of the character, that is telling us something and we have to read it. We could say that she's mad because look at how the author actually used the speech bubble, the line that's going to her. It's almost like lightning. All of these little pieces of information within a panel tell us so much. We cannot skip it. If I look at him, it looks to me like he's saying something. And he's also sweating something. I have to make sure I'm paying attention to everything that the author is giving me in the graphic novel picture and words. Readers, remember, a graphic novel, more than half of the meaning of the story is given in pictures. If you are someone who's just reading the words and not reading the picture, you're missing over half of what the story is really about. Another thing that a graphic novel author will do is they will use coloring. So if you look at the color in this panel, it's bright. That gives us some understanding of the mood. And then look at this panel, dark. So not only do we pay attention to the words, the pictures, who's speaking, how are they moving, but we also pay attention to the mood, the coloring. What is that telling us about the story? Readers, reading a graphic novel is not easy just because there's pictures. Reading a graphic novel helps you to make sense of the pictures and the words, and you, the reader, you are the one who has to think, what is going on here? And why does this matter? So, reader, let me leave you with this. Your job is to think zigzag. I zigzag when I'm looking at the panels, when I'm looking at the speech and the action. My job as a reader is to stop after a page or two and think, who is doing what on these pages, and why did what I just read matter? Readers, if you take the time to do these very important and special things in a graphic novel, I guarantee you, when your teacher sits down or when you go to talk to your partner, there is so much that you will have to say about your graphic novel. I hope this helps. Enjoy your graphic novels.